What's happening to good people? What's happening to good people? It's your man, Patrick the Game Changer Jackson here, and we are back with another great episode of He Said. She Said. Got some great topics and conversations to have on today. I hope y'all ready. Hope y'all ready. Hope y'all locked in and ready to have this conversation. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And with that, definitely want you guys make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. If we're going to be bringing some great content to you, some great conversations, and of course, make sure you drop your comments in the chat. Make sure you stay locked in, man, with us. And we're going to have a great conversation. Now, we do got some free tickets to give away to you to the R&Bingo night. If you went to the last one, you had a good time. Hopefully, you had a good time with that as well. You enjoyed yourself, but got 2 free tickets to give away that we're going to be giving away to you to be able to go to the actual event that will be taking place. And it will be taking place on Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th. It is going to be going down at the Jazz Spot. You're going to get 3 free bingo tickets that will be included in your entry. They're going to have a good time. They're going to have a couple of great DJs, local DJs that'll be there. And of course, they will have over $500 in prizes that you can tap into. So go ahead and get locked in. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. All the people that'll be commenting, you will have the ability to be able to enter into this contest where you will get two free tickets to be able to attend this event. So knock your grandma's bingo. Going to be some great music, food, etc. that will be there. So get locked in with it. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm excited about it. Hopefully, all of you that are going to be tapping in with us at these different events are going to have some comedy tickets that'll be coming up. Got some gift card stuff that'll be tapped in as well, where you guys can take advantage of that. But with this is one of many, many great events that will be going down. So hopefully y'all get locked in with us as we go forward. Also, this Saturday, we will be at the harvest at the fairgrounds this Saturday from 11 to 3 is going to be a Black Healing Summit that will be going down as well. So if you guys have time, come on out, have a good time. It's absolutely free for you to come out this Saturday and attend that as well. We also had a great time this past weekend down in LA at the Black College Expo, where the kids were go ahead and getting their college feel on. They had the bands that was there. They also got to see Gorilla perform as well. So there was, definitely a great time and a great experience that a lot of people got the opportunity to enjoy themselves and have a great black experience right here with each other. And I think that's what it's all about. We're right here in Black History Month. In the thick of it, in the thick of Black History Month, we get the opportunity to do that. So we're excited. We got some great topics and conversations for y'all today. And just know it's going down. Make sure you show your love in the comments. Say hello. Check us out. And we'll be right back. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, people? Welcome back to the show. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, checking us out, hanging out with us. Got some cool folks that's always chilling with us, man, having a good time. We're about to have a great, positive interaction, conversation, and always funny. You know, got to bring the laughter, got to bring the black boy joy, the black girl bliss into the atmosphere as well. We ain't always serious around here. We got to have a little fun on these internet streets. Y'all be too serious out here for me, man. Y'all be too serious out here for me. But without further ado, go ahead, my girl, Persevering Jen. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? I am your girl, Persevering Jen, Jennifer, or just Jay. But holla at your girl. I am on Facebook. Tap in with me at Persevere with Purpose or Persevering Jen.
And I am Monty C. Wilson. You can check me out at Monty C. Wilson on Facebook and Instagram.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Now, as y'all can see, been a lot going on. Been a lot going on. Been a lot going on in these internet streets throughout the country. All this stuff that's happening. There's so much stuff to come. We don't, man. Jesus, so much stuff didn't happen. I mean, it's only been a week. My God, and it's so much that is happening now. Last week we talked about the plane crashes, right? Like we talked about the plane crash and everything that was happening with that. Since then, there's been multiple other malfunctions. Another plane crash has happened. Since then, man, it's been crazy. Folks have been, I guess, on edge. I've been seeing people that have been that have flew to certain destinations. Were scared to fly back home. Uh, Man, what's y'all thoughts on that? What's y'all thoughts on, I know we had some thoughts on it when it was initially happening. Uh, has there been new thoughts or things that you guys have seen or new feelings about what has transpired lately?
As far as me, I think we're just going through a rough patch. I'm not gonna look too much deeper into it. I'm not gonna remember I call myself the conspiracy theory buster. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that this is Donald Trump. I'm not gonna say it's the Democrats, the Republicans. I'm not gonna say it's Putin. I'm not gonna say nothing yet. It's too early. I think we're just going through a rough patch, y'all. That's it. A string of coincidences is what I'm calling it. What you
Extreme
say?
coincidences.
Yes, no, a string of coincidence.
A
Like they're
string,
strung,
okay.
they've been strung together, back to back to back. That's all. I think it's been back to
Okay.
back coincidences. And sometimes we go through things like this and it's not as covered as much, you know what I mean? So I'd have to look at the statistics and see how many of these things actually do happen in a 2 week span for me to say, has it been a hike or is this the norm? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It might be a little above the norm. It might just be a little bit above the
Right.
norm and people just looking at this, panicking. That's what I think.
I agree. And also, when you say conspiracy theories, I kind of dig in that area a little bit, but I try not to go too deep because I know if I go too deep, it's like I can't get out of it because it's like you really trying to look and see, what's taking place
Hmm.
and what's real and what's not. So, um, I was looking at a pattern, and it was like, okay, so one of the planes, what was that? Roosevelt, was that the street or was that the actual was the one in Philly? So I know one plane crashed on Roosevelt Street or something like that, and another one it was at another presidential name or something like that. So I thought maybe that was kind of like
Really?
uh I don't know, like maybe it could be a conspiracy, So then I was like, nah, it can't be. It's too much of a coincidence. So, and like you said, when you kind of look and to see how often these things occur and take place, it really will have you thinking, is it a hike and things that's taking place like this? But once you click on something that has to do with a plane crash, that's your algorithm. Your algorithm is going to show you all things plain. So it's like now we're just seeing it often because we've happened to read something something in regards to that versus, in the past we never kind of clicked on something that had to do with a plane crash. So now our algorithm is going to show us everything in regards to plane crashes. That's just basically what's
Yeah.
taking place right now. So
Right. And I think the actual crashes, the ones that actually crash, I think that is unusual to have that many in a short amount of time. That's for sure. But I meant like all the other little things, like the planes having to turn around and bumping into each other on the runway, little stuff. The other, so I don't want to say anything is little, but the more minor ones, I
Mhm.
think, those are the ones I'm talking about. Yeah.
I did hear that they think that we are under attack unknowingly, or they know but they just don't want to get everybody in a fear and a panic. And I don't know, they said it has something to do with Trump, so I'm just like, okay, we don't know yet. We definitely don't know. We won't know because they gonna keep it on the hush. They gonna
Yeah.
and like
They,
Bianca said, there's some truth to some conspiracy theories, and not all conspiracies is a theory. It's the actual truth. So at the end of the day, it's like a waiting.
what did you
You know,
just say? You
it's a
said
waiting.
not all conspiracies. You said all conspiracies are an actual truth,
No, I said not all conspiracies are theories.
and you said some of them are actual truth.
It's some
You
truth
know, you said
behind.
all of them were actual truth.
No, it's some truth. It's some truth to some. It's some truth. It's some truth to
No, to
some.
some, but you said all. That's the only thing. Okay.
Okay, well,
Ma-
correct me then. Correct me then, Mister.
No, I just want to make sure
Correct
that's what you was
me.
really saying. You might have really wanted to say that.
No, no, no. You know what I'm saying? I see
Okay,
you cheating.
good.
All right, check it ain't cheating then.
Then we gonna be tapping into that in a minute. But so you guys are feeling like the hysteria that's around this is just a bunch of, from the algorithm standpoint, um, things are just happening coincidentally, and we're just kind of overthinking all of this.
I think so. Until I see something otherwise, you know what I mean? Because
I think it's more
I
to it.
just don't like to fill in what I don't know. See, this is where conspiracy theories start, or they continue. People fill in anytime they don't know something, they fill
Hmm.
it in. They fill in that blank with a conspiracy, or something like that, or some fear that they have. They fill that in. So if, let's say, if there was something in the sky and you don't know what it is, the first thing people do is they fill it in with, that must be a alien. That must be the government trying to spray something on us. They fill in that blank with a conspiracy theory or something that's, or it could be God, you know what I mean, something like that. They fill it in with something like that. So it's if you don't know, you just don't know. It's okay not to know stuff.
Right.
There's gonna be some things that we're just not gonna know, and there's a logical explanation for it. So that's why I don't fall for most conspiracies, because I look at it through that lens.
I
Yeah, some
believe
people.
it's, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Jen. Go ahead, Jen.
No, I was just gonna say I believe it's more to it than that. I mean, because it's too much going on, popping off at the beginning of this year, and it's happened back to back. And how it's taking place. It's playing. I see if okay, there was some type of landing gear that was having problems, but for planes just to be nose diving out of the sky like this something not right. It just can't be right. You know what I'm saying? And they're not saying exactly what's happening. And I know it take a while for things to, take place, investigations and things like that. But for planes just to nose dive straight out the sky unknowingly, just out of nowhere like this, back to back to back, one they never covered. One happened in December. They never covered that. That didn't catch. That didn't hit the news like that. This was in Texas. And then another one in Los Angeles in the mountains that didn't hit the news either. Then here he is, showing the one in Philly and then the one in DC. So it's just like
Hmm.
it's a pattern that's taking place right now. And it's this all started from last year, from December 2024 up into this new year. So
Right. So the one that the medical plane that fell out of the sky. What if they come back and, because they take a while with these things. What if they come back in 4 months and they just say um, that there was a catastrophic malfunction, something in the engine or something with the flight controls. The plane hadn't been serviced in 6 months or a year, and blah blah blah. They give you a logical explanation of why it crashed. Will you believe that, or are you going to say you're going to add another conspiracy theory to it? Oh,
I
they trying
won't
to
believe
hide it
it
from us.
because they've already said that the plane was already inspected. So that already has came out. They said the plane had already been serviced and inspected. So it can't what else could it be? Somebody could have tampered with the plane prior to it, you
I mean,
know.
it could still be a malfunction. Planes are inspected all the time and malfunction.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm
but
just asking you if if they come out and give you a reason, this is exactly why the plane malfunctioned and crashed. Will you believe that, or are you
of
going
course
to act?
I'm gonna believe it, but you can't believe everything people say either. You really can't because sometimes they cover stuff up.
See,
They
that's
can
what I'm
cover it
saying.
up. They can
See
cover
that
it up and
that's
have you thinking, okay, yeah, we're gonna just cover this up because we don't want to scare the people. We don't want people to know that this actually took place, And then here
Hmm.
a
so
month later, a week down the line, something else didn't happen again. Then
right.
what you
So you're going to add another conspiracy theory on top of that. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, if there's a lot of truth behind what's taking place versus them giving me one little measly answer, I'm definitely gonna ride with what I think it could be, because
So
that's
there's
not
no
enough.
answer. There's no correct answer they could give you right now. Basically,
Well, not right now, no. That's why I'm just waiting. I mean, I don't have nothing
no.
else
In
to
six
say.
months.
Yeah,
In
it's
six
a
months,
waiting
can they
game.
give you an answer that you're going to be like, okay, I'm gonna go with that?
What answer could they give you, but if they've already
What
check the
they
box
already
off saying that the plane was already serviced and inspected prior to them
that
loading on board
doesn't mean that there's not just because it's
medical
been serviced
medical
doesn't mean that
patient.
they can't. Just because it's been serviced doesn't mean that there can be a malfunction though.
Okay, yes,
Mm.
the planes could malfunction. They can malfunction, but think about the malfunction in here. So what happened to all the other planes? They just malfunctioned too.
Well, the guy with
I know.
the helicopter pilot, he drove into the space.
Yeah, I seen that. But I'm talking about all the ones
Right.
prior to this. The ones
I don't
that
know. We can look them up. We can look them
well,
up
no, the
because.
ones from
But I'm saying is, if I don't, you don't know either, though, right?
that's what I'm saying. The ones from December all the way up into this, that just they've been in alignment, just back to back to back to back. So no, I
Okay.
don't know.
Have you researched it and found out why those planes crashed?
Well, we don't know because we the reports haven't came back yet. That's the thing.
You don't know.
No, we
So that's
don't
what
know.
I'm
Nobody
saying.
knows.
When you don't know,
I'm not saying nothing.
conspiracy. Okay, you
So if I don't
are.
know, I don't got nothing to say.
You
I don't have
are saying.
nothing to say.
Okay, never mind.
But I'm talking about this specific one. With you that this one has to be really thought of because you got all these medical patients, and then one specifically, this girl who had been fighting cancer. She had been fighting cancer. A young girl. You putting all of these people at risk. You know, knowing that they already have issues, medical issues. This plane had to really be inspected and looked over prior to all of these medical patients, what they call it, med vac or whatever it was before
Yeah,
you.
but planes go through routine inspections all the time, and they still crash. That just because they go through a routine inspection and whatever, don't mean that it's foolproof now.
That's wild. I ain't
You
nah.
could put your own car through a routine inspection. They could check your tires, say, okay, these tires have enough meat on them, and you can go have a blowout. That don't mean that
Right.
you don't, you can't go have a blowout. So, but I'm just saying is, I'm not going to add. Well, if it's something I don't know, I'm not going to add a fear or conspiracy theory, well-known conspiracy theory, to the reason why it happened because I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm gonna
Yeah, I don't
continue to
know
just
either, but
don't know.
I'm checking. Checking ain't cheating. Like I said, I'm checking. I'm doing my research. I'm gonna make sure because at the end of the day, we got to make sure it's safe, not just for what happened, but it's people that board planes all the time. My dad is in the Philippines right now. He had to take a plane to get there. So I got family members
Hmm.
that's on planes 24/7. So it's not so much as a fear to me, but it's a safety that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that safety because at the end of the day, you don't know who tampering with and what's taking place. There's so much going on right now in the White House and in the office, and they're targeting the US at this very moment. You know what I'm saying? Because of some tariffs that's taking place. So, it's just a waiting game. But at the end of the day, my main concern is safety. It's the safety. So I
Mm-hmm.
got research. I need to know. I want to know for sure,
Okay.
but without throwing out if, ands, and buts and maybes.
Yeah, because we live in Bakersfield, and if you look, what is that? West, a little bit southwest. Every few months or something, there's if it's a launch at Vanderbilt launch pad. If there's a launch at a certain time of day, we see that launch. We see that smoke in the air, and they've been launching stuff there for like I don't know how many years. I remember the first one I saw was over 20 years ago. If they launch one right now, your your timeline will be full of people saying that there's an alien, there's Jesus, there's somebody trying to kill us. They are doing something, and all you got to do is just do a quick Google search and see that they launched another SpaceX satellite or something into the air, into the atmosphere.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. We don't do our research. And I think
Right.
as black people in general, we're kind of guilty of that a lot of times. I remember this happened.
Mm.
One time they did one, right? And
Mm.
everybody was online talking about this. And I came across Chris Brown's feed on my Instagram. And Chris Brown was talking about it. And he was like,
Mm.
man, if this was a planned missile launch, they would have told us, right? And all I did was commented, but they did tell us
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because my homeboy that I work with, name is Jonathan. He's like a space science buff, and
Mm.
every time they launched one of those rockets, he would have it up on his laptop. We would watch it actually launch from the pad, and then we would run outside and see it up in the air. So we knew about all these launches ahead of time, and all I posted was, but they did tell us ahead of time. And I had about 20 people roasting me in that comments, telling me I wasn't woke. Brother, you need to this, that, and the other. They
You got to
got you
wake
and
up,
you
man. You got
Not
to
you're
you
wake up.
being
brainwashed.
woke. You got to be woke. I'm
You
done.
brainwashed,
Yeah,
brother.
I'm brainwashed for
You're
knowing
brainwashed, brother.
that the SpaceX
Uh,
launches, and I know the name of the place, I know the website, I know all that, and I know when they're gonna launch, and I can go outside and watch it and actually have fun viewing it. I'm some sort of sucker, I
mm,
guess.
mm. Yeah,
Man,
that's how it be. They band together. They like, we gonna band together.
Right. They try to punk me.
try to punk you real
I'm
quick on
some
the
sort
on
of
the
I'm
whole
some
SpaceX.
I'm some sort they done question my blackness.
Yeah, they
They
did.
didn't
They got
question the
your
black.
black card.
Now, with folks trying to question the blackness. Now we go into this. We're gonna do a segue real quick. Uh, into now that a show is different shows out here that's doing this whole pop the balloon thing, right? And
Oh
so
wow.
I want y'all
Mm.
to see this clip. There's a question that is asked, and I want to see reaction to this actual clip uh, of what this young lady is asking. Okay.
I like it so far.
You cut your hair to date me?
To date you? No. Would you cut? Hold on. Would you cut your hair to date me?
I'm a woman. Why would I cut all my hair off? I mean, I'm not my hair.
Oh, okay. Well,
Thank
that's
you.
fair. Well, okay.
Now, this
Mm.
question was asked, right? So this question was asked: will you cut your hair to date me? Now, is this a realistic question that someone should request of someone, especially if they're at the beginning stages of dating?
I think not.
Absolutely not.
Oh, what?
Especially when you have dreadlocks or something like that, where you put in months or years, at very least months and years to create. That's absolutely crazy. If you had a haircut like mine and they said, well, baby, you would look good if you did this, we'll put a part, I might consider that if she looked good enough. But
Mm-hmm.
you talking about something like that where he has dreadlocks? No. That's absolutely ridiculous. But that tells you what kind of person she is. See, I'm always a believer in is one thing begets another, right? So if she's asking you something like that or expecting something like that, imagine what else you're gonna have to deal with, brother. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
I mean, this
Right.
man is who he is. His hair, is him. And if you're not taking him as a whole and everything that comes along with him, then basically you in the wrong atmosphere. Go find you somebody who already got a bald head, and you know what I'm saying? That man should not be obligated to cut his hair just to date you. Just like he asked you, would you cut your hair? And if you said no, then basically that's your answer. Why would he cut his hair then?
Right.
And I didn't really look at him I mean, he looked like he had some short dreads, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he like yeah, some like yeah, like short like dread
Some
Like
short
he
braids
had,
dreads.
type thing.
yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
the top part and then the rest like tapered and
Right, right.
I mean, at that point, it's pretty much she don't really like that style, right? Like at that point, that's kind of what it
Yeah.
is. She
That's
just don't like that particular style.
and to ask somebody like that, that's very controlling. That's being controlling for no reason too.
oh yeah.
Mm,
You
You
gonna
know.
have a whole host of problems dealing with her
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah. So that what it sound like, don't it?
You're gonna have a whole
Sound like
host of problems.
she gonna get you to be able
Yeah.
to just take that away. Then it's like, what else would she be wanting to
Right.
control?
Well,
Especially at the beginning.
some people throw stuff out like that at the beginning just to test the waters. You know what I mean? Like they really trying to see like how much I can how far I can push you right now and then see how far I can push you later. You know what I mean? That's probably what she was doing.
Hmm.
I
If
could
he had
definitely
took
see that.
that,
Yeah.
yeah,
And see if he
basically,
bend.
yeah, that's what
Then
I thought.
the next thing you know, it's gonna be something else. And the next thing you know, it's gonna be something. Then it's just going. It's by the end of the week, no telling what she's gonna ask for.
She wants somebody that's henpecked. That's what she wants.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then be asking for a strong man a month later, saying he wasn't
Exactly.
strong enough.
Oh
That he
yeah,
was.
Saying he was,
for
you know what? I
sure,
actually like a strong brother.
for
I like
sure.
an alpha male.
You're right. She is the alpha male.
Yeah, he ain't strong enough. He ain't able to, da 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 da. Like,
Right.
Right.
yeah, now she doing too much.
Why you ain't open up my car door for me? And just petty stuff. Come on now.
Right. That makes a that makes it into a whole nother scenario at that point. Like you putting him in a awkward position of saying, "Yeah, I'll do it." Like it's different if you didn't grew it out and all that type of stuff, and then you know y'all some years in, and you're like, "Oh, I would want to," I think you would look good in this different type of look. I will hear people say like, "Oh, I think you'll look good if you grew out your beard," or you know what I mean.
Right.
Let's see what that looks like.
Right.
And if that's y'all two exploring something, then you may ask her to do something. You know what I mean? That could be a little bit different or creative. If y'all now you've built something to where that you should feel comfortable enough to ask those type of questions. But
Yeah.
that shouldn't definitely be like a demand on the first encounter. Like I like you, but you have to cut your hair.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, by the time you've had a relationship with that person, then now y'all working together on that. I mean, my grandmother used to always say that she liked her hair nice and neat and us shaved and nice and clean. I mean, she always would say that.
Hmm.
And it wasn't like she was demanding or anything like that. She just always would say, "Oh, every time you came in with a fresh haircut, she would compliment you. She would always say, you have, baby, you look so nice. Your hair looks so good." Da, 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 da. And so I ended up just always learning how to cut my hair and always trimming my hair for that reason, you know, just because my grandmother was always just saying that. And I was like, okay, that must be something. You know what I mean? That must be a thing. I learned that young.
Well, the man opening up the car doors is not being petty. I was referring to the fact of her basically putting that out there in a sense of her getting mad at other things. Like if she can tear him down about his hair, then basically what else is she going to tear him down about? So that's being one of them. So that's what I was referring to. Basically, the fact that if she was to get mad at him about him not cutting his hair, then it's going to be a whole line of things that she can get mad at him about. Oh, you're not opening up my car door. Then basically her getting mad at him is very petty, because that's not what the relationship is about. It's not about you opening up car doors. It's not about, all of these other things, because are you dating this man for what he can do or his heart in general? The type of person that he is in general. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, nobody going for the heart these days.
I see. I
Right.
see. I see. It's all about what you can, let people be themselves. That's how I feel. Let this if this person, if you going into this relationship wanting to be with this person for who he is, then basically that's who you should be with. This person for who he is, not because what he can do for you. And that's the notion with this new generation. It's all about what I can get from this person. What can this person do for me? What about what you can bring to this person instead of what this person can do for you?
That is true. Got to. He's always talking about what you bring to the table.
I was
What you
just
bring to the
what you
table.
bring to the table.
What you
Up
bring?
front
What you bring it to the table, yo? What you bring it to the table?
on day one.
She didn't even get that man a try before she popped the balloon so quick. She didn't even let
You
the
want to try to date that
man.
man?
She popped the balloon so quick she almost hit the needle to her hand. She popped the balloon so quick.
Right, right. Boom!
Damn,
You ain't gonna cut your hair. Boom! Almost cut
right.
herself. Now there was another question on tonight's conversation or scenario, I would say. Y'all heard it. See what y'all thoughts are.
In a situation dealing with a guy and he got other females, why you just can't keep it real and allow me to want to deal with this situation or walk away?
Because I want to collect you.
But you can't.
No, whoa. I can't, but I am. But I am, though, because you still around with me, going to podcasts complaining about me.
No.
My point is,
No, listen.
I keep you around because you allow me to. You're in my life because you benefit me, then I have to expend. You are convenient. We have sex. I like that, and all I got to do is make empty promises for you to stay. I don't have to show you tangible things. I don't have to commit. You give me the goods for free. So what I'm saying is, you asking why am I here? You the one that's not benefit. Why are you here? No.
Facts. You know what? Big facts.
Ooh.
Wait. Was she was talking about him specifically?
No.
Say
He's
you're in a
answering the question.
dealing with a guy and he got other females.
She said, "Hey, guy."
Why
I
you
thought
just
it
can't
almost
keep it
turned
real
into.
and allow me to want to deal with this situation or walk.
So, yeah, I can see how when they talk about like, yeah, you coming on the podcast, right? Did it kind of sounded like that?
Okay, I'm just double checking.
Yeah. So it's kind of gearing towards that space.
Yeah, they turned it into personal.
Yeah, it got real personal,
Because he
real
said,
quick.
"I'm on the podcast doing this, and I'm here doing this, benefiting, and you not, and you in the crowd." Like it's almost like she was talking about him specifically.
No, he worded it to where he was saying you, but he's saying like I'm like I'm here on the podcast talking about a dude asking this question because I guess he said it from her experience, right? Like she's in this situation with a guy or whatever, and he's still with all of these multiple other women, and so he's like, well, you are on a podcast, which is their podcast show, and you're on here expressing this about this guy. So it's like, why are you coming on asking a question? Why are you still in that situation?
Right. So what's your question? What you want us? What part of that do you want us to talk about?
It's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
I was sent that to ask to put on the show, so it was a lot to unpack there. From I guess we can do it from both perspectives, right? Because he made some comments and statements in response to it. If a person's in that type of situation, right?
This is better
One,
with these on.
how should they feel? And then two, is it something that should be viewed in a negative space if she's not, you know, tripping about it, or if he's not tripping about it?
Repeat the question one more time.
Yeah, can you repeat that again?
So I was kind of bringing from both perspectives for both of y'all to answer, but I'll do it from one perspective starting off. So is the from the female perspective, like, right? Is she in a space to where she should feel some type of way about it, or she should know what it is and let it ride?
I feel like if you going into that situation and you're not letting somebody know what it is, then you just gonna ride with it, because at the end of the day, this person, you know, is coming up and y'all doing what y'all doing and stuff like that. You not setting boundaries. You not telling him what you prefer and what it is from the jump, and you just riding and going along with it. So don't try to jump in, head first in the middle of the situation and want to try to say, okay, why is this happening? Why is this? You was riding from jump. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was just doing the do and going back and forth, and all of a sudden you want to ask questions on why it's like this and why it's like that. You should have came with your boundaries up front. You should have said what what you felt like should go down and what shouldn't go down and things like that. That way it could be established from the gate. So, I mean, she was in the wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, hey.
I agree. I think based on what she was talking about, the situation, she chose to be there and to stay there. And so now she's complaining about it, saying that why couldn't he have been upfront or whatever. I mean, if in that situation is date people who are upfront, date people who want to be just with you. You know what I mean? I can't date somebody who she got a whole team, right? And then come back complaining later. Yeah, I knew I was getting on her team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I
Right,
come
right,
back
right,
later
right, right.
and jump on this podcast right now. I'll be talking about I don't understand why she did. I'm you in a situation and you on a team and they not this and blah 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 blah. Now in her situation, she made it seem like he wasn't upfront, but at some sort of time he revealed himself to her, and instead of just walking away, she's on a show or on a on a podcast or whatever, complaining about this said person. So it's up to you. You can walk away with that, walk away from that.
Exactly.
Very easy. Now, Janae said, I just like hearing people continuously complain about the same problem when there are clear solutions, like allowing people to use you, knowing it makes you feel like doo doo at
At
the
the
end of
end
the
of the day, yeah.
day.
Because when what happened when she did find out? Okay, so she finds out that she's on a team. Did she then go to him and say, "Excuse me, sir, but I have been aware now that I'm on a team, and I would like to know if would you want to get rid of your team and date me exclusively?" Did she do that?
Man, you talking like she didn't call the HR representative. Like
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You can do. I mean, has she done? It don't sound like she's done that. It sounds like she just continued to be on the team,
Yeah.
doing whatever that she was doing before, and just mad now.
I was just about to say that now that she realized that she's a team player, she wanted to just be her now. You know what I'm saying? She feeling some
Yeah,
type of way. She jealous. So it's like now, okay, now that I'm seeing I'm not the only one that's on the team, now I want you all to myself. I want you just for me. You know what I'm saying? Now I
right.
need you to dump everybody else and just make me the person that, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to be. And that's very unfair, because at the end of the day, it don't flow like that. You know what I'm saying? You should have made it known
Yeah,
from the gate. You should have already said from the jump what you desire,
yeah,
what you want, and what's going on, and ask questions, communicate.
yeah.
So
And
Gotta ask
I
questions.
think we need. I think we need to discuss the other side too, from a male perspective. It sounds like he wasn't
Hmm.
upfront with her too, though. You know what I mean?
true.
So it's, it sounds like she may have found that out later. Now, whether she stayed with him or not, that wasn't right of him to put her on a team and not knowing,
That she
letting her
wasn't. That she
know,
ain't know.
yeah, what
Hmm.
space you are on the roster. I mean, you think you're starting, and you know what I'm saying, and you get on the team and you in
You on the
like
G
third,
League?
fourth. Right, yeah, you on the end of the bench. That's not fair.
It depends on the
That's
situation. Though, if they both went into the situation just trying to do the do and not, nothing else, nothing less, nothing more, then he can't be in the wrong because maybe
he
she
could be in
can't
the
be.
wrong if he didn't tell her. If I didn't tell,
Well,
if I start dating someone and I don't tell her, I'm winding and
Are
dining
they
her.
dating? Or
She,
they just messing around? Which one is it? They
they
dating
sound
or
like
they
they were dating.
oh so they were exclusive. So they was just
She made it seem like the first thing she said was, "Why not be open and honest and upfront about this?" So obviously she must have thought something different. Is what I'm saying at the beginning.
but and see that's the important part too, though. Like when there's a misconception, I think sometimes that happen as well, where the communication lines are not very clear. 'Cause number one,
No,
uh,
right.
we know that men are not as communicative as we ought to be or should be. And I think women read between lines too much, which kind of causes some of those confusions as well when there's not clear communication on both sides. So you can go in and you could be having a good time, and because you're having a good time, now you got these feelings and emotions, and nothing has been
Right.
necessarily explained or
Nothing.
said,
Yeah. It's
and it's
great.
like
Yeah.
now it's a gray area.
Right.
You created the gray area. He ain't said nothing, right? He ain't said we exclusive. He ain't said we in a relationship. But now in your mind, because you kick it a little bit more often, you getting a little bit more attention and stuff like that than what you probably were in a previous situation. Now you're assuming that you're not exclusive instead of
Right.
having the conversation,
Yeah. And
and
that's
that
probably
can
what
create that
happened.
gray area.
That's probably what happened. For I would believe that it was this never was talked about.
Mm-mm.
And then she found out later. Maybe then when she did bring it up, that's when he was just like, "Hey, wait, hold on.
Yeah. You're doing too much.
I'm not really looking for that. I'm not looking for that." And he
right.
said it like 2-3 months down the line after
So you're like, you didn't strung me along, man.
they
Come on.
done they done did it all, and I mean literally. And she find out he's not really into
He ain't in
that.
it. And now you stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Okay, so ask this question then: is it up to the man? Because let's be honest here, Patrick. We know about these gray areas as men.
Yes.
We know we know
Uh
if
huh.
we're dibbling and dabbling in the gray area.
Right.
Is it our obligation? Should it be our obligation to to let that be known up front and not dibble and dabble in the, because you can dibble and dabble in the gray area for decades.
True. True.
You could do that your whole life, brother. Okay, so I'm telling you seriously, you can. So is that do we is should we have a higher obligation? Should we raise our, you know what I'm saying? What, you know what I'm saying? Should we it should it be up to us to not lead these women into the gray area?
I think that's the tough scenario because the gray area can always be um, perceived in whatever way, and I think uh, if I think the threshold should be, if it's not said, don't assume. Because
Yeah.
once you although we could try to raise our bar, you know, you still got young guys coming up that haven't elevated themselves to that level. But if we teach, especially the young women and women in general, to be able to know, if it ain't said, don't assume. And if you move in that space, then now it's gonna force them to actually ask the question. Because at what point is he going to communicate whatever he gonna communicate? Because right now we saying, okay, we just dating and we just seeing each other or whatever. That gray area is gonna always be there at some point. And
Hmm.
so if the woman is feeling some type of way, in the same way, if the guy's feeling some type of way, right? If he's feeling her and she may not be feeling him in that type of way, he could be in that gray area. He could be in that friend zone, right? We got the guys
Yeah.
in that same scenario. He's in the friend zone trying to get in, but he afraid to ask the question because he might get shot down. So, you got to be willing to just ask the question. The woman is in that position too. Like, hey, what we doing? Is we locked in, or we exclusive? Where we at? And then once you get that question answered, now you can move accordingly. Oh no, I'm still, dibbling and dabbling. Then now you can make your decision. If the chick on the other side, if she said, I'm still, weighing my options and still, dating, then now the dude, he ain't, he want to be in the friend zone for the next 20 years. He can go ahead and go at it.
Yeah. I think and this is especially important these days because I think there's more women dibbling and dabbling in the gray areas too.
Yeah.
And I, and I think it's like sometimes you're in a situation where both of y'all dibbling and dabbling in the gray area. You know what I mean? It's like
Hmm.
I feel like because I've been in situations where both of us should have been up front and we could have found something beautiful in the middle and within that gray area. We could have found something that was just we both could have just landed on and been perfect. But
And
it's
so
just always that.
who fell first? Who fell first? Is always the who fell first? Who fell in love first? Who heart that got punctured? Who who didn't got
Right.
either the heart that got punctured or they got
Yeah.
turned out. One of the two. They
'Cause,
didn't put
yeah.
something on you that you enjoy. And
Because
so now
there's
you done got
yeah.
turned out, one or the other.
Yeah. Because women be having a lot of options nowadays too. You know what I mean? They're not the only. They not. It's not just us. They
They
have
don't be having a
women.
lot of options. They don't be
They
having
have
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
options.
options,
Quit
and
lying. Quit
you
lying to
might
the
be.
women, Monty. Quit lying, Monty.
Some of these women got options, and they be. Hey, the ones I date, they got options.
Listen, you think they got options. There's a
No,
difference
you don't know
between the
what I'm
two.
saying. I'm saying is you may not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm just saying in general. You may not be as a man. You may not be as high you may not be number one in the number one spot either.
You don't
Oh
know
yeah.
unless you
Oh yeah.
try.
You may not be in the
But
number one
but
spot
see
either.
this the difference though. This is the difference though, Monty. The person that majority of the time and see the numbers just show it's a numbers thing, right? Like the guy that you may be thinking that should be in your number one, you needed probably the women probably got to shoot for number three.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
going she got to, but she can get number one, and he gonna enjoy you, but he ain't trying to lock you down. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference between the two. So
Okay, no, no,
the
no.
the
Here's the
guy the guy is gonna be the one that's gonna decide if y'all gonna be locked in long term or not. The woman is she can access the dude, like she can tap on his shoulder and get him, but that are you able to hold him? It's gonna be the
but,
difference.
but that's my point though. I'm not saying she can hold this. She got her hand and she can grab all three or four of these guys, whatever. I'm saying is you might be the second choice, and she may not ever be able to get the number one choice, right? She got this
Right.
number one choice in her mind. Like this is the one she's would like to have. You might be the second choice, the one that actually got her, right? But in
Yeah,
her
but
mind,
see,
she's thinking about number one, so she's leaving that space.
Right.
That's what I'm
Right.
talking about. She's leaving
But
that
that, but that,
space.
but that's why the whole Kevin Samuels conversation come along, and you gonna die alone. That's where that conversation comes from because you always trying to level up. The
Right.
level up concept is always. I heard the story of Joyce Myers. I saw a clip from that, and she was said like it was a mall that had like 5 levels, and it was like different guys on every level and stuff like that. And so they had women that was going. It was a guy that looked good and made money on the first level. She wanted to go to the second level. Second level had guys that were good looking, made money, and had great sex games. She wanted to go to the next level. The next level had a guy who was great looking, had a family, had great sex, and had go on vacation or something like that. And then she was like, well, I want to go to the next level. And then the next level didn't have no guys at all. So
Right.
always trying to
Yeah.
always
hold
that
up.
whole storyline was like just trying to level up on each level. End up
Exactly.
finding out that you ended up not accessing nothing. And so that whole conversation of the morals and the values of what you actually are seeking, uh, that scenario is a full conversation because a lot of time what people be looking for is a fantasy imagination.
That's
Like
what I'm
it's
in.
something that they've never seen it, they've never been with it, they've never witnessed it. It's just something in the fabric of an imagination that they've put together and said this is what it should be.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, that's a scenario. But there's also scenarios that they can get a hold of now. That's not.
Oh yeah.
It could be some. It could be some dude in prison. Seriously, it could be
Hmm.
somebody that's way beneath your level for whatever reason. That other person is ahead of you in their mind, whether they have him or not. You know what I mean? Whether they have him
Hmm.
or not, or whether he might be DMing her, or they might be he might live out of town or whatever. It could be somebody that she has access to. It ain't always that oh, I'm trying to get that, 6 figures, 7 foot tall dude that's never gonna come around. I'm not talking about, that's one thing, but then there's other people too that could be what we can consider steps below us that could be ahead of you. That's a possibility.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd be curious. Listen, I'd be curious when I be watching 600 Pound Life and they be in relationships,
Right.
Mhm.
and I'd be like they be having whole relationships, and I'd be like, why are y'all single? And these women can't leave the house, and
Mm-mm-mm.
they got men. And I don't. What's going on? I'm like,
Yeah,
what what's going on in these scenarios? Like it'd be like, okay, then you got the guys that be in prison and stuff. It's like, oh man, you didn't went to that extreme. Like you got a brother that just completely just, your pen pal now. Is what
right.
in they talk game be right. Your talk game got to be super right.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody's would be right if you locked behind some bars now. Yeah.
Everything you want to hear and some.
Now, biggest said, unfortunately, most men are wasting women's time until their dream girl becomes available. Woo!
Mm, mm.
Is that true?
Who, me?
I mean,
I mean,
You talking to her? I'm
I
assuming.
don't even know what to say because I mean it's a lot of them out there in these days. It is. I mean, it's a lot of men out there that they don't communicate. They don't tell you what they want, and if you're not communicating and telling them what you want, yeah, of course they gonna hold you, to whatever it is y'all got going on until they can get exactly the person that they want. I mean, but it's other men out there that don't want to waste your time. It's other men that's out there that don't mind telling you that they want to lock you down. They want to be the person that you spend the rest of your life with, and instead of playing all these games because they didn't been there, they didn't done that, they didn't have that. And it's men that didn't been married before and don't want to get married again, and they just want to be out there just playing around. So
Right. I
yeah,
think
it's a lot of that going on. It's a lot of
I,
that going
I
on. It is.
I think, yeah, I think another thing that happens too is that you do tell people stuff up front. You give them exact blueprint and they just hard headed, don't want to listen.
What's the exact, like, for instance, like,
You could tell them like you could like if
don't want a
let's say
relationship, don't want to be involved,
right,
don't
you're
want
on a
nothing long
team.
term. Like
Yeah,
you on the team, you can tell them all that.
you could tell them all that and they just hard headed and won't listen. They just keep on pretending
yeah,
like you never said a word. I mean, there's
yeah.
that.
But but
That's that too.
And if
but
and
but Monty, it's not that they don't pay attention. What it is a competition, man. It's a competition. Is they believe that they can change it.
mm,
But you know what? You ain't
mm.
you feel like that right now, but you ain't had me. Once you have me, baby, watch
And then you
everything
have them.
everything you thought you said you wanted and you didn't want. You gonna want and you ain't gonna want.
And then you
I'm
have
gonna
them
flip it. I'm gonna flip it.
and they don't flip it.
And when
Huh.
you don't flip it, that's when the attitude comes.
And they
They
still
be
don't
like,
listen.
they be
When you
like,
tell
what's
them you're
wrong with
not
me?
flipping this,
Yeah, it is. What's
you
wrong with
tell them that
me?
it ain't
That's
What's
flipped.
wrong
what's
with
wrong
me?
with
That's when
Ain't
you get
nothing
the what's wrong
flipped.
with me.
That's sad.
Ain't nothing flipped.
Yeah,
And
that's very
they
unfortunate.
still talking mess.
Trying to out here trying to play God. You can't change nobody but yourself. Shoot.
I mean, you
That's
have people in those same scenarios that will date someone that uh, that likes the opposite sex. and thinking that you're gonna, I've seen those scenarios too, where it's like,
Oh yeah.
that you think you're gonna change. Like it's the challenge to be able to change. For some reason, I don't know what that really means, but you will see that a lot. You'll see that a lot. The chase to change. You some There's something inside of folks. Some
I
folks that
also
are
seen a man be with a woman for about 5 years and kept repeating the same cycle. And then when he got with somebody else, he did change. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. I mean, it depends on the person. He didn't do the same things that he was doing while he was with this woman. So he became a whole different, person. All the ways that he had with this woman that he was doing that was wrong. He was doing a complete opposite. So I mean, it's not in a scenario of changing. It's just sometimes a person has to grow up, or you know the person that was basically putting all of this change into this man, he took that, ran with it, and used it with his new woman. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Some people do, have potential in them to where they don't. It's the person that they with that could be, nagging them to change and then get with somebody else. And this person is just a whole total different woman. And then he, didn't have to say anything and just treated him accordingly, So I've seen that happen before, and vice versa with a woman as well. Woman was on drugs and got with a whole different man and cleaned her act up, and been sober ever since. So
that's exactly what Rebecca said. She said most men, probably in women too, will waste that person's time until that dream person comes along. So
mm-hmm.
that guy wasn't. It was until he got. I guess maybe that woman was the one that uh flipped his heart, touched him in a way. Said that he, that I don't never want to let you go. That's the
Yeah.
part. That's the interesting part that most people don't talk about in conversation with relationship stuff. Is who falls for who first. That part is the when you're in that dating process is when you fall, and then it's like the love part is there, and then that other person ain't quite there yet. So that in between time of that person getting there in or not getting there can either annoy the other person or make them feeling like they're in an uncomfortable space, like they're not moving along fast enough for the other person.
Right. Yeah,
It
and
becomes tough.
the person who commented, women do that same thing. They do that same thing. They string men along until till the right person comes along too. That's not exclusively the men. I'm sorry, not even
Come on now.
close.
Come on
Not
now.
even close.
What they be doing, Monty? What scenarios be?
If that was the case, then most women would be in a relationship with a man that they want to be with. Like it wouldn't be so many trial and errors. Or that type of situation. I think women do the same thing. There's some people that just can't wait or just not good with being alone. So they just,
Mm.
date the people that's let me date somebody for right now.
available for right now,
What the
Yeah.
huh?
Bible does say is not good for man to be alone. The Bible do say that.
Yeah.
The
Come
You
on
gotta be
the
now.
that
good
type of
book
person that
the
can't
good
be
book
alone.
says it's not good for man
I,
to be
I
alone. Now,
can't. I'm not the type. I can't. I'm not just about to have no anybody around. No. There's too many soul ties
Yeah.
going around. There's too many people
yeah,
got
you
these.
got to find your one. You got to
Got
find
too
your
many
one.
attached to stuff. No, yeah, you got to find your one. But at the end of the day, just around here, just shacking up and being around with anybody ain't gonna cut it. No, I'm gonna
Some
hold on
people,
to you and to the
some
right one.
people,
Come on. No, I ain't got time for that. This man might not
some,
want to let you go. You know what I'm
some
saying?
people, some people grab something for the winter. I mean, that's true.
Or tax season. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, they
There's some
got them
people
out
out there to
there.
do
They
some. There's some
got them.
people out here that do some stuff.
Oh,
Now,
One
I
thing
know.
I learned as a little kid, my
Oh,
brain ain't the same as everybody else's. We don't all think the same. I learned that in the fourth grade, and it
look,
has shaped my life ever since.
of course. That's
I
why
had a
I am the
moment,
way that
fourth
I am.
grade.
Got to be careful with people. That's why I am the way that I am, because it's like that. Yeah, people brains is wired
Yeah,
differently. Yeah.
right.
Whew.
Some people will get into a relationship knowing, move in with somebody, do all kind of stuff knowing that they don't, that they don't
they ain't
love
really
that
feel them
person or
like
whatever.
that.
Blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
Ulterior motives is
That's it.
real.
That's sick.
ulterior motives is real, and it could be for any reason. You could be because you broke and you want somebody to take care of you, hungry, you need a roof over your
Yeah.
head. It could be for all type of reasons,
Some
and they
people will
don't.
get married. Some people will
Yes.
get married in that same situation.
Woo,
Oh,
woo,
oh
woo.
yes. Oh yes, and live a double, triple lives out here for sure, for
So
sure,
there's all kind
for,
of people out here.
for real,
Man, ain't
especially
We
in
that the
can't,
truth?
we can't, we can't, yeah, we can't. Got to talk about the dark side too now.
What's that?
That's the dark side. I mean, there's some people out there that's just cold with it like that. They don't have that. The things that we think about, like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do nobody like that, or I only do it to a certain extent,
Mm-hmm.
and then let that person go, blah, blah, blah. Just there's people who will lead your butt along to the very end. It will people that will drive off a cliff, literally drive off a cliff with you in
That's
it.
crazy. That's crazy.
And could have let you out. Would drive off the cliff with you in the car with them. Could have just let you
mm,
out. We see it all the
We
time.
for
go.
We
real.
see it all the time. I mean,
Mm,
I worked in news. Remember, I shot news for 10 years. I done seen some crazy stuff. I'm seeing people who just like, oh, I want to end my life and take the kids and everything else with them. Babies. You know what I mean? If you want to
That's
end your
true.
life,
mm.
just end your life. Why you got to
That's
take,
true.
Like, don't bring these babies
shoot
into
little babies
that.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
don't
Right.
bring these babies into the
Yeah,
mix,
I mean,
man.
so
Like that's
Don't
crazy.
bring
yeah,
the
what
babies
do you
into
think that
that.
dude was gonna do? And the same guy I'm talking about was gonna do in a relationship. When it come down to what he gonna do, whatever he want, whatever come to his mind. It's just crazy. We're not all sane.
For
So
That's
sure. It's a
true.
lot to
sometimes you
pass.
women, you out there with somebody that's they got some deep issues.
Whew. I know
That's the
that for
Yeah,
bottom
that's
sure.
line.
deep.
The same thing with
Try
us,
to take
men
advantage
too.
of something like that. You
I
got to
know
be
for
sick in
sure.
the mind.
Yeah,
You got to be sick in the mind.
there's some people out there with
Mm.
some deep issues. So you can't just look at it like what you would do and how you would handle it.
Yeah, that's why you got to ask questions, people. You got to ask
Yes.
questions.
You
You got to ask. You got to
definitely do.
communicate. Can't be
Yeah.
assuming. You got to talk. You got to
Yeah.
have these real conversations. You can't just let stuff slide, folks. I'd be like, my God, these especially y'all see. I don't know. I'm gonna get on y'all women a little bit. I'm gonna get on y'all a little bit because y'all be talking about this women intuition stuff, and I'd be like, man, that thing got to be broke, man. It got to be broke, man. We got to fix it. We got to have
Yeah, like,
surgery. It ain't working right.
You making it up as you go along. You
Yeah, it's
making
like
it up as you go along.
it only works when he a piece of
I'm a proof person. I'm a proof. I ain't got time for no intuition. No, I need the proof. I don't want no intuition going on for real.
Mm-mm.
I know
like you
I
don't
was
hear
young and
man
dumb,
saying that. Like,
young
yeah,
and
my
dumb
man,
too.
my man intuition said that uh, such and such wasn't gonna be nothing. Like you don't hear no dudes around here saying no stuff like that, man.
Ah,
Yeah, if we think something, we're gonna go find it. We're gonna find out.
You
yeah,
gonna
that's
find
me.
out.
We're gonna go
They
That's
move
find out.
accordingly.
If I think you cheating, I'm gonna go find out. And I ain't
that's
gonna
me.
let you. I ain't gonna tell you that I'm thinking it either.
I need to do
I'm
my
gonna be real
homework. That's
quiet.
what I do. I will do my homework for sure.
Yeah, women got to know. They got
Right.
I,
to know.
I'm not finna be thinking no thoughts, or I know somebody that had a dream before and woke up and was like, "You cheating? What?
Yes.
I
That
had a
happens.
dream. What you
I had a
Dr. Martin
girlfriend
Luther
back in the
King?
day.
You didn't had a dream?
Man, that's a terrible dream.
I had a
Right?
girlfriend back in the day who told me up and down that she was psychic, and then she had a dream that I cheated or whatever. And because what happened was she went out of town and she had gave me the key to her apartment so I can go feed her cat. So I went over there, fed the cat, played with the cat for like 5 minutes, and left. She come back in town talking about she had a dream that I had a woman over there, and I'm like,
Mm.
totally didn't have no woman over there. Done that. She saw a vision of feet on the blanket, all this type of stuff, visual thing, and I told her, that that wasn't the case, and I felt like she never really believed me. I think she was just always just kind of looking at me sideways after that.
Yeah, everybody you around, she looking at their feet now.
Yeah,
Everybody, she looking at their feet. They got them open toe sandals.
right.
I
Yeah.
think them was the feet that was in my vision. Them was the feet. Them feet right there. It looks real familiar. Them
For
feet.
real.
Them
That's some cold
Never
stuff.
bounced
feet
back
that
from
had a
that.
premonition.
Relationship over.
Never bounced back from that.
Now you can't bounce back from no
I never
dream
bounced
Wow.
about
back.
feet.
I was in trouble after that. If
Yeah.
she
She looking
didn't
at
look, if
everybody's feet now.
man,
Everybody's feet suspect.
if she didn't look so good, I would have just left anyway. As
Yeah,
soon as
you
she
was there.
said that,
Yeah. I was about to say she had
yeah,
to have a little something. She had to have a little whip on you, a little
don't
something.
try that now. I don't care what you look
That
like.
whip appeal, huh? Two
That whip
shots,
appeal,
that
huh?
whip,
That was when I was
that whip
23.
appeal, huh?
That's when I was 23. I'm 53 now.
Yeah, you say you
What?
can't whip me like that. I've been whipped enough. I'm whip proof.
I'm doing it with it.
I'm
I'm
whip
the
proof.
whipper.
She traumatized. Yeah, your whole life. If y'all got married, everybody feet. She got to find out. She got to find
Bruh.
them feet. She
Yeah.
was
She
gonna
gonna
find them feet, man.
now pull
I'm
your
telling
socks
you.
off and let me see what them feet look like.
She gonna invite everybody over for a pajama party. No socks
So you can see
allowed.
their feet, yes.
Yeah. I'm feeling you. That was before the
Cold
internet, so
blooded.
she got to do some real search.
Yeah, she gonna invite everybody over.
She got
Who
to do
are
some
your
real
friends?
investigating.
We gonna. I got some friends. We gonna get our pedicures and we gonna get our feet and stuff done. We gonna have a little spa day. She gonna
Hmm.
do spa day.
She going to the
He
beach.
was,
She going anywhere where your feet out. Look.
she doing everything. Feet associated. She was gonna find them feet, man. How long
Oh,
after that did you stick around?
Um, no, I stuck around for a little while. It might have been like at least 6, 7, 8 months, something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, she had some.
But
She had
it
some.
was
Yeah, she
always
had
it
some.
was yeah. And then I double back. I double back too though now. I double back a
You
couple
double
years
back
later.
now?
he said he double bike.
If I find her, I double back now, but I don't know where she at. Hey, I bet she still look good, boy. I'm telling you.
She looked that good. She was that fire.
Yeah, one of them ones to
No.
be. She one of them ones. Yeah, one of them
She
ones.
was
But
one of
I
the
ain't gonna.
ones.
But
She was one of the ones.
it
For
was
real,
too
for real.
much. Though. It was too much. It was too
Yeah, she was
much.
one of the ones for real.
It was too much. Nah, I wouldn't dip back. Not right now. Too old to dip back.
Nah, she's like, you know what? I had another vision
Yeah. No,
that
because
we was together on the beach.
her psychic ability was that was just in the infant stages. It got
And
worse.
I'm about to say, I know it didn't got stronger. It gets stronger
No,
with
no.
age, don't it?
According to her, it got stronger. I didn't even believe any of that mess, to be honest with you. But I'm telling you that at that particular time is when she was just getting started. See, so it got worse.
So
Those
she
type
she
of
was around the
females.
same age too. She was around 23, 22.
She was a year younger than me.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
she definitely she was in
So
the
yeah.
infant stage of her
Right.
psychic abilities. She was only
Yo, so
No,
22.
she was a witch. That
no,
was
when
a
I
witch. She
did
was
back,
witchcraft. That's
when
a
I did
witchcraft.
did back, when I did back, I
Uh-huh.
asked her about it, and she let out straight out told me that, oh yeah, like I'm full blown. Like I'm just whatever I think is true. Like that's what she told me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that that one was short, very short.
Yeah, yeah. Cause she seeing stuff instantly. She believe
Yeah,
that
yeah.
boy.
Right. It wasn't no like I think. It was like she told me that I know. Whatever it is I think whatever I see, I know by that time. So
Man.
so
Woo.
it's a lot of people, it's a lot of stuff out there to deal with. I couldn't imagine. I always stop and think like this. Some of the things that I've been through with women, I always think to myself, what if a man was like that to a woman? It would be totally different because being in a man's position and a man's strength and you know what I mean? Like if
Mm-hmm.
like if we dealt with a narcissist or we dealt with somebody that was bipolar or whatever like that, it's just totally different for us because we're bigger and
Right.
stronger or whatever. At the end of the day, she's not gonna be able to beat me up. But I
Mm-hmm.
always think like if a woman had to deal with that exact same type of personality, somebody bigger, stronger, and has some sort of financial power over them or whatever, that'd be real tough life. That's why I have a lot of sympathy for women who go through, relationships like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be tough.
it'd be very tough because you would be fear for because I've been in some crazy situations, but I never was in fear for my safety. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because I'm a man, I'm not in fear. I don't think that she gonna, put hands on me or whatever. You can get
Hmm.
mad all you want. Can't do nothing about it. You can just act crazy. But but if a man was acting like that and that aggressive or whatever, that'd be pretty scary.
That would be a very scary scenario. Especially if you'll see people that can't get out of situations like that.
Yeah,
Like they'll be kind of in a stuck place.
It ain't
right.
fun, especially
Yeah. So I
it's
never been one of those type of people to be like, well, why didn't you just leave and why didn't you just do this? Da da da.
Yeah, it ain't
I
it's
it ain't
understand.
as easy as people think.
people think
Yeah,
it
I
is.
understand.
It's not easy. You got to really plan things accordingly because
Mhm.
it's not easy at all. It's definitely not easy. For real. People are psychopaths.
Yeah,
For sure. They checking phones, they checking your every move. The last thing you put on, and it's like a whole string of things that they do. For
yeah.
real. It's
And they
people
don't let you leave.
and they
I mean,
won't. That's what I'm saying. They won't. They won't. They even go to like relationship. They go out to your family members' houses, brothers, sisters, mothers.
yes.
You have to go to a undisclosed location to get away from these people. You truly do.
Right.
You truly do. For real. And then when it's kids involved, it's really worse.
Right.
Right.
That's what I was getting ready to say. When you got kids
You
involved,
got kids,
it's
it's
really
Yeah.
really
bad.
Once you
Because
have
now,
kid with somebody, it's a whole different
yeah.
story.
it's
Because
worse.
now that
It's
person can go to court, and now they dragging you back and forth to court, and can get legal visitation. So you really just stuck with, especially if you're a man,
yeah.
because you got to pay child support and all that different stuff. You really, that person is in your life for the rest, for at least 18 years.
Yes.
And they
Man.
be tearing you up, tearing you
Woo.
up.
Sad. Very unfortunate. Mm-mm.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
man. It's a lot to take in.
I just got off a bid.
Man,
Got off an
it's a
18
long
year
time.
bid. I
It's a
just got
long
off an
time.
18-year bid.
Ooh, it's a long time. Lord,
I would never put a man
man.
through no crap like that. That's ridiculous. I could never put no man through no crap like that. I feel like that's a jail sentence. That's a sentence just within itself to make a man
Mm.
have to go through child support. If you can afford to take care of your kids on your own, do it. If he don't, if
Nah,
he,
nah, nah,
I
nah.
No,
Don't
no, no,
say
no,
that.
no, 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 no,
Nah, we're
no.
not saying that. We're not
Nah,
saying that.
no,
mean,
no, no, no.
what I'm saying is to force somebody to have to do it just because you being spiteful or or narcissism is yeah. But at the end
Nah,
of the
force them
day,
to do it.
I mean, because women do it out
Nah,
of spite. They do it because they trying to get back at a man. They do it because they bitter. They
No, and
do it.
that man should be paying child support. What you
he should
I
be
talking
mean,
paying
about?
child
of
support.
course, I'm saying that.
I'm a supporter of child support.
But
Yeah,
I'm
me
saying
too.
it out of bitter and out of spite, though. If you gotta go, I'm the type of person I don't like to argue. So if I gotta go back and forth with you to do it, it's like I'm not about to. I'm not doing all of that. Like I'm not
No,
So
about
no,
to
you
no,
go.
no.
saying
But that's not back and forth. That's what child support is for. Because it ain't a back and
yeah,
forth after that.
right. So you
Well,
saying if you don't want to do
I'm
it, you
talking
just gonna
about
be like, I never mind.
what a narcissist though is what I'm saying. Is what I'm
I'm saying,
saying. With somebody that's narcissistic is what I'm saying. So I mean, because if I'm already fearing for my life, I'm not about to go back and forth with somebody. You know what I'm saying? But if
mhm.
if you got to get the judge involved to do it, then yeah, okay, then you got to get the judge involved. But me, if this person already pumped fear into you to the point to where you know what I'm saying, you uneasy now, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to be around this person and you can't be around this person. I would avoid all contact with this person. You know what I'm saying? At any cost, just so I
I know
didn't
women
have
who've done
to
that.
go
I
no
know women
contact.
who've done that.
Yeah,
I've met several. I've met several women who've done that.
you gotta go no contact.
Yeah. And
Just
then I've met some. I know some women who've done that. They didn't do anything right away, and then maybe when the daughter was kids or boy, son or whatever was like 13, 14, they tried to go back, and it was kind of too late at that point because
right,
this
right.
these men already have other kids in the system. They're already paying
Hmm.
money, and so then
Now
now the
you getting the
judge
back
told
end.
Yeah, you
Now
getting the
yeah,
scraps. You might get
yeah,
like $50
right,
a month now, and then the other
right.
his other kids are getting like 1,200
It's that,
because the
right.
judge is like, well, I'm not gonna take a dime away from the other kids. They don't do that. They don't say, well, okay, well they making
We're gonna now
1,200.
split it up. Yeah.
Let's split. No, 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 no,
Mm-mm.
no, no.
You
They
should have
they
been
got
came.
they got one of the coldest systems I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah, they
doing.
got
They're
it.
not taking away. You can accidentally. You can overpay somebody, right? Which I have by accident, and they won't even take the money back from them.
No,
The
they won't
person
do
has
that.
to agree to give the money back.
And
Mm-hmm.
and that's the thing that most people maybe don't understand about child support. And I tell, and I even when I talk and I mentor young men that have uh, had kids, and I try to make sure that they don't have kids until they're married. Um, don't have kids until you are married, man. Like that's the key, especially letting young men know. If you going to engage, and most of them will, make sure you wrap it up and you do what you're supposed to do. But if that does happen, then you put yourself on child support. Number
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
if she don't
that's
put you on child support, you
yeah,
put yourself on child support. You go
right.
down there and put yourself on child support, young man. Uh, because what's gonna happen is this: what people don't know, the game is so cold. Is that women will play these games, right? If you go and we got this agreement, we talking, you sliding her money sometime for Pampers, you sliding her money for clothes or whatever the case may be. You could be doing that for the next 5, 10 years, right?
Yeah,
She then can go to the judge and be like, he ain't gave me nothing. Or even if you present like, hey, I did this, all those was gifts. And so now
yeah,
you owe all that back pay for 10 years,
right. Be 30.
no
Next
matter
thing you know,
what
you
she
got
said, because
30,
there was no
40,000,
agreement.
30, 40,000. It could be 30, $40,000 on your account instantly.
Oh,
I have friends
instantly,
that happen to. I've had friends
instantly.
that happen to. And
And
if
so
you
I
do it
always
while,
encourage guys to go ahead
yeah,
and do it.
and when you do it while you're young, you may not even be working. And I'm not saying, put it this
Like
way,
if you're in
you
school or
might
something, right?
you might be
Yeah.
in college, not even working or whatever, and you get
Mm-hmm.
on there, and they might just be charging you $50 a month,
Yep.
something really low like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to do that because you might not have the type of baby mama who is going to take you back to court over and over and over again. You could get away with paying that $50 for a long time. You know what I mean? Because now if you got
Mm.
the type of person that's like, oh, every time he get a raise or every time he get a job or every time I see him with something, a new car, oh, he must be making some more money. And then they go down there and do, and file something.
Try to
And
file and
then you
stuff. Mm-hmm.
and you got to get another, put in another proof of income report or whatever. You might have somebody like that, but a lot of times you don't. A lot of times you have somebody like, like Jennifer, who, whatever, she gets $200. She might be happy with that because I ain't got to deal with you and just be happy with that 200. You pay $200 for you get 10, 20, 30,000 dollar raises and still paying that same amount. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's better to just go on there and get it done. And like you say, the biggest thing is that they can come back at any point in time. And I know some. I had a friend that this happened to, and a lot of the years that they charged him for, he actually had his son, and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't even give him that. He didn't even
They
give him
wouldn't give you
notice.
that money back. Yeah. They won't even give you the money back.
They would, yeah, they wouldn't give him credit for those years. And I can tell you something that happened to me. One of my daughters, when she turned 18, okay, she's supposed to get off child. I was supposed to remove just her off the child support. So, but if a kid is in school, if she turns 18 in January, let's say, the mom can go down there and petition to get child support through the end of the school year, right? So child support called me and said, okay, she petitioned that. I figured she would, whatever. You still got to pay another 4 months, 5 months, or whatever. Um, but for some reason, they charged me 1 month and then they shut my child support off anyway. And I was like, why did they shut it off early? So she called me up mad the day she didn't get it. So I gave her the money, right? I cashed out her the money
Mm. Mm.
because I don't want no mess. Like, whatever. I don't know why they shut it off early. I just cashed after to her. Next thing I know,
Mm-hmm.
child support called me up saying, sir, we made a mistake. We need that money. And I said, hold on, I already gave her the money. And they said, wait, we can't do nothing about it. She has to
Right.
agree. She has to agree that you paid her that money
Mm-hmm.
and pay it back. And I
Yep.
said, no. I said, no, 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 no. She's not gonna do it. Never mind. I'll just send you the extra money, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
Right.
So when I tried to send the extra money, another woman answered the phone. The new woman is like, no, sir, no. You need to let me call her and da 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 da. And I was like, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. They hit me back about a week later, sir. We're gonna need that money from you. I just got off the phone
Wow.
with her, and you're right. She said they made me fill out the paperwork. I had the cash app receipts. It said my daughter's
It
name
don't
on all
matter.
that type of stuff.
It don't matter at all,
She said
man.
that it was for
They
something.
cold blooded.
She said it was for something else. She said it was something else. So I had to pay. I paid her the money, and I had to pay them, so I won't be late. That's
Yep.
how cold their
'Cause then
system is.
that hit your
Yeah.
credit. They'll go
Right.
after your driver's license, man.
Yes.
They'll go after
That's what I'm
everything.
Right.
saying. Yes, they will.
They'll go
I
Yeah.
after
see
They
it
got a
happen.
everything.
cold system. Yeah. My
Yes,
even
Yeah,
I
because
the,
see it
if
happen.
you trying to be a productive brother out here in
that's
these
the
streets,
you'd be the worst.
man, you got the boy.
You'd be done the
You can even
worst.
get locked up for it. They locking people up for it too.
Oh yeah,
Like that's
they'll put you in jail. Yeah, they'll
yeah,
put you in
that's
jail.
wild.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
wild.
That, like
What
I
you
say,
hear from
driver's
that?
license, they can put liens on your
Mm-hmm.
house, all that kind
They'll
of
put
stuff.
lien on. Yeah, they'll put lien on whatever they can get. Yeah, they're cold peace. They'll come after you. And
Cold. Man.
don't fall on hard times now. You know, it don't even matter. They still
Yeah.
coming. You can fall on hard times. Seeing cats, you know, they had got out, guy that got out of prison and stuff. They started doing good. They got all this back child support. They're paying it. You know, they end up getting a little job. You know, paying and they're doing well for like 2 or 3 years or whatever. Then they have a down spiral. Job let them go. They're in between employment, and all of a sudden, all this stuff is just hitting them. Boom,
Hmm.
just all at once, man. They're not able to pay. They're going in. They're talking to the people. Man, they talking about it's going to take 6 months to do something, an update thing or something like that. The dude was telling me, and it was like, man, they still coming after me. So
Yeah.
it's nothing that I could do. And then they were talking about locking him back up. They don't be playing, man. Like you could be you could be giving effort, you could be giving them, and it just don't matter sometimes. And if you're not, and what most people don't realize is that the two people, the child's mother and father, can come up with whatever agreement that they want to
Yeah.
with the child support system. You can come up with whatever. They can have their recommendations. The woman could deny, the man could deny. Because sometimes you have some scenarios where the man has the kids and and he has custody and stuff like that. So there is a conversation that can be had in mediation. So if
Yeah.
and this happened with somebody I was mentoring before as well. And I was, trying to help her along because, like, oh, he's doing well. The child support was trying to get a certain amount from him. I was like, man, he ain't got got it like that. I'll make sure you good. And then he, can do this much. He's working, but you don't want to, where he can't survive at all. You know what I mean? So I'm like, make sure you get this. As long as you're taking care of that, you wasn't doing nothing, y'all didn't have a system in place before. You're like, yeah, 'cause I'm okay with him doing this, but they're asking me to get this. You know what I mean? So they
Mhm.
went in with an agreement, but then the workers were trying to have her get almost triple the amount that her and him came into
Right.
an agreement to.
Yeah. They must have put it in the calculator.
Yeah, they put it in the calculator and
Yeah.
said, you could get this much, right? And so she was like, no, I'm okay with just getting this much.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because you can put it in the calculator based on what you make, what she makes, and based on the percentage of time spent that you have the
Mm-hmm.
kids, and the percentage of time spent is a big factor in that
It's a
percentage.
big factor.
Yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
big factor. So that's another thing too. See your kids, and you can pay less.
Get involved in your kids' lives.
Yeah. See your
Get
kids, and
involved
you
in
can
your
pay
kids'
less.
lives.
Right.
Get involved in your kids' lives. get involved. You got to make sure you get involved some type of way. Some
Yeah.
type of way. If you don't, things can go super left, super left. Now we're gonna end this conversation on something that transpired just a little bit ago. and one of the officers beat a handcuffed man before his death. So we're gonna talk about this really quick as it goes into see where the story kind of highlights at where it had happened. So we'll give you a little bit of context here. Here we go. Now, this particular case happened, and of course, um, it's always interesting when these type of scenarios take place, right? Like it's body cameras not on, a scenario where the officers have done this to an inmate or a person, and sometimes people are in those scenarios kind of forgotten about, right? Like they're the stories are kind of pushed under the rug, and it's kind of a mute situation. And of course, it's somebody's family member, it's somebody's loved one. These scenarios are not the easiest to deal with and come by. Um, Now, I do want to pull up where they had the young man that passed away, of course, it wasn't his, doing. It was what transpired with these particular officers. That that time and time again, these things are kind of happening, and um, so I want to back up the video just a bit as we had got the first part of it and go back to um, where the actual assault took place. And I want to share that with you guys really quick, and then we'll kind of go in on that. Let me see, where is it
Now I couldn't hear the actual audio what they were saying, so you'll have to explain a little bit.
at? Oh, okay, I'll show the video and then I'll kind of go into what they were saying. Here we go. So this is him here, where they have the video there of him kind of being beat up. They're choking the guy. And they're just, that's the video clip that they have of him, just pretty much manhandling him in that way, putting him in a, very uncompromising position. He's already handcuffed and stuff, right? He's pulling him up by his neck. Um, you know, what else is the guy supposed to be doing in that
Now,
scenario?
now, did he die from something else, or he died from the hands of the beating?
They said that he died from the officers, beating him, and so that's what the scenario is showing. And I think that the results of what he's saying is that the medical examiner has to give them that final say. So once the medical examiner comes back and state that this was a homicide or whatever the case may be, then that's when they can go forward in making a decision on prosecuting or not.
Now, is it speculation that they beat him up beyond, that he actually died from the beating on the tape, or that they beat him up beyond, like he took him in the back and beat him up some more? Like, is there more to the story, or?
So they beat him up and he died from that. The medical report already has came back. So it has came back already saying that the initial um death happened from them basically picking him up by the neck and continuously blunt force trauma is what he died from.
Right.
And not only they thought they put their cameras on standby, but when you put your cameras on standby, it continuously record. So they thought that they were turning their cameras off, but they put them on standby. So the standby recorded every single last thing that they did to this man. He's tied up. I mean, he has the cuffs on, so he can't fight back. He can't do anything. So there was no initial threat to the police officers, at this point. So basically, not only were they beating him up, but they were also medical staff that came in and out of the room and allowed this to take place without reporting it. So there was over 25 people that were not only suspended, without pay. One of them, the police officers, actually resigned as well. So I don't know what further action that they're going to take in regards to this case, but I do know that yeah, the autopsy came back that that's how he died.
Wow. What kind of facility is that? Is that a jail or a prison?
So he was actually taken to not I don't think he was actually in a jail at that point. He was actually at a medical facility outside of the
Oh, okay.
prison.
They took him somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
They took him somewhere else. And they
Wow.
all took turns. Every last one of them took turns on, their part when it came to, killing
Wow.
this man.
That's pretty.
Unaliving this man.
That's pretty cut and dry right there. The video.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
should be.
I don't know how you can interpret that with his hands cuffed and you lifted him by the neck. I mean, what maneuver is that? Like they always go back to training. Where in the book, in the training manual, does it say lift a person by their head and neck off the ground? In any
Right.
scenario, let alone when they're handcuffed. And he was basically like limp at that point. It wasn't like he was even fighting the part that I saw, but
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yes.
He wasn't fighting. He wasn't. And I mean, even from the video, it looked like he was already like they were showing probably more of the middle part. It looked like he was already roughed up and beat up, and his face was kind of
yeah,
already swollen, uh, and looked like very, manhandled. He already looked like it wasn't like
right.
that was the beginning of the actual encounter. That looked like they were
Right.
well into it already when they
What
got to that point.
Let me ask you this question. Obviously, if he was transported to a medical facility, he probably was handcuffed the whole time, right?
He should have been. I mean,
Exactly.
that's usually
So,
what I thought is
Exactly.
protocol.
so what was there even reasoning for to having to rough him up in the first place? Or they claim that their reason, if he's handcuffed from the prison to the jail or whatever, in the vehicle, out of the vehicle, into the hospital, what reason do you have to beat this man up? He was always handcuffed. It's
Right.
like what there was. Well, my point is there was never a threat. There was never a threat.
Never a
Not
threat.
not not that extreme. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The most thing he probably could have done is maybe spit, and then now you put the little spit mask on him and stuff like that.
correct.
That's probably the most that he could have
Or tried to kick or
really.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if
Wow.
you behind your back and you got the chain on both legs, like it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to do much of that,
If from what I saw, that just looked like
especially
some
with 4
straight up.
people.
That was some evil acts going on right there. That was just evil. It takes an evil person to do something like that to somebody. And
Mhm.
I
Sound like
and
a
I'm and I'm
setup,
and I'm,
man.
I'm, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care what the person did.
Right.
And seriously, at that point in time, to beat up somebody that is handcuffed behind their back, unless they had to murder a very close family member or something like that, and you might be like, okay, I'm gonna put this dude to do some hell right now, that sort of thing. But you're purposely trying to do that though. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like you have a
That's
reason why, like, okay,
premeditated.
I'm going to kill this person because they killed somebody I know. But to be in a situation of, you are supposedly there to guard or to protect, and they take an oath or whatever. Who cares? They violate that all the time. But you're in the situation that they're in. There's no reason to be beating up somebody like that. None. Zero.
Mhm.
I'm wondering, are they like was that premeditated? Like for like even in your scenario, was it going from the prison to the facility? Like what was this a murder for hire? Was this was this some type of related to something else that you know higher up that most people are probably not even thinking about? Uh, that this guy maybe was involved or had did something or uh, didn't do something, and then now they were out for him, and they use these particular folks to get to him. Like how you said, it has to be something much deeper, unless you just some dudes doing some. Hey, we just gonna have a have a time with this guy, but you know, for the transport to happen and for it to end up taking place like that, you know, I'm thinking that scenario could be something that could be on the table too.
Yeah. You think they would have did that in the actual van or something like that? I don't, it's
You can
it's
tell
strange for
that
them
he
to
was
try to take him out in the hospital on purposely
right.
take him out. But
You can tell that he came in there like that though. When they drug the man inside of the facility, because they have a video of them bringing him inside.
hmm
His legs is already limp. So they had to been already putting him through some
Working
mess.
on it.
Yes,
Hmm.
prior to him coming into the medical
right,
facility because he came in literally limp. His legs was limp, like dead weight. So upon putting him on the bed, they had to actually lay this man down. He's in cuffs. They had to lay him down and position him to beat him up and constantly pick him up. So they can reach. Every last one of them can take turns. Doing it. So whatever happened, it was prior to them. They was working on
Yeah.
him prior to that. So
Like we talked about earlier about relationships, you got all kinds. I mean, it takes a special kind of person, like I said, to do that to a helpless
To another
man
human
or
being.
helpless woman. Yeah, you
right.
know, to do that to any kind of animal. You know what I mean? If you did
Hmm.
that to a dog, you would get. I saw a
Yeah.
dude the other day that got, I forgot how many years he for because he had he had like 100 dogs or something like that, and they were just they were skinny and
Malnutrition.
malnutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they gave that man like 100 years, something crazy like that. I mean,
Oh,
Hmm.
so
Inhumane.
yeah, but to do that to a person, like you said, it's almost like they were trying to do go above and beyond the type of pain that they wanted to put him through. See,
right.
and that part right, and that's remain to be seen. The sad thing about it is that we'll never know. You know what I mean? Like these people never come forward and tell you what was going through their mind. They never have to testify that, and tell their story or whatever sort of thing. They're gonna stick
Hmm.
with each stick. They're gonna stick together, and the system will try to protect them as much as they can. And we never really hear this. We never hear the story. We never hear like the George Floyd thing. Like what? I want to know what the hell was you thinking you was doing?
Hmm.
Like
Right.
what do you think that you was doing? If you wasn't trying to kill the man, what the hell did you think you was doing? You in that position. You made it all the way to be a police officer. What the hell do you think you was doing? But we'll never
Hmm.
know.
Exactly. And
No,
then for
we'll
That,
never
them
that,
to,
know.
that,
I'm gonna suspend them without pay. What?
Yeah. If you're not
Suspend them?
trying to kill him, what the hell you think you're
right.
doing? What planet do you live on where you could punch somebody like that and you're not doing great bodily harm to them? What planet
Right.
do you live on?
My God.
So
And
they
they
knew
gotta
what
be,
they were doing.
and like how you were saying, for someone to be that deranged, right? Like, and now we're talking about four, four deranged
Yeah.
individuals. You're saying that nobody there had a conscience to say, "Hey, man, we doing too much," or "Hey, man,
Right.
you know, I think we're going too far." Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody in that
And that's
group
why the
had
medical
that type of heart or
exactly.
compassion. Like, oh, okay, you beat the dude up, you rough him up. Okay, that's it. But man, y'all go to the extreme to where, man, like she said, he already coming in limp. You'd probably broke his legs and everything already. Like, what extreme are you trying to
Yeah.
accomplish?
If nothing else, nobody had the fear of getting caught.
Well, I think
Like,
they thought they had it under control, just like most people. Like, right? Like Jen said, they thought they put it on, turned them off, and they on
Standby, yeah.
standby.
but you
Yeah.
but there was hospital officials coming in and out of there. You said.
That's why every last one of them they're taking action because I mean you can if you can see them somebody coming in and out of the room and I think somebody else was kind of like on the other side of the wall watching because that's how the video was recorded. That person was actually standing, I guess, as the lookout, and then you got medical staff
Yeah.
coming in and out of the door, and not one medical staff could say, "Look, stop, okay," you know.
Well, the
Yeah.
medical staffers is a little bit different because they don't know. Cause like in those scenarios, that person is there at the behest of whatever facility. So they're like this person is maybe whatever however they're supposed to be disciplining this person or whatever
Yeah.
is how they're kind of maybe viewing it, and they're coming in for whatever medical part. So they're viewing these officers as the ones that's responsible for however they're supposed to be handling this individual. But I think that that's an additional training that maybe they should add to medical facilities to look out for. Don't just trust that these people are doing the right thing by these individuals that they're bringing
Yeah.
in for supposedly medical treatment.
And they will intimidate you too now.
Right.
They will intimidate the staff. I've seen that. Trust me, I've seen that
Yep.
personally. Remember I told you I shot news for 10 years out there on the streets with the camera. They will intimidate you up out of there. Hey, get up out of here, or I'll arrest you. We've seen that even on video where there's
Yep.
somebody else is trying to, a family member trying to video, and they'll tell them that they'll take them to jail too, and they actually do take them to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Snatch their camera and take them to jail for doing nothing but filming. So they
Yep.
they know they knew what they were doing. I'm sure they put some sort of intimidation, some sort of fear on these people. But to do that is just like I say, and I always say this. This should be an example. You would think if we lived in a just country that they would take this and apply this to almost any and every department in the country and say, "Yo, this is the kind of people that we have in this sort of in this sort of career, and
Right.
we need to really do something to fix all of this. This is not an isolated incident. It keeps happening. It happens over and over again, and they try to make you feel like, oh, there was some bad apples, that sort of thing, but it's not. And how many times it's got to happen before we say, okay, this isn't working? Like something is wrong here, and these
Yeah.
people have the capacity to do something like this. So if they have the capacity to do something like this in a situation like that at a hospital, what are they doing when there wasn't cameras, or when they're somewhere when they really are behind the scenes?
Right.
That's
And how
exactly what Mika just said.
yes, how they gotten away with. They've gotten away with so many other situations prior to this, like you said, that wasn't video recorded, that wasn't
Right.
taped, you know?
And then we complain, and they act like we crazy for complaining. But see, that's the it. This is how I apply. This is the rule that I apply on life, the universe. You can't be okay with something when it happens to somebody else,
Hmm.
and then when I know that you wouldn't be okay with it when if it happened to
Happening to
you,
you. Right.
right? So
There we
that's why
go.
you look like a fool for trying
There
to
we
tell
go.
me that a lot of these cases where somebody got beat up, and it was a black man on the ground, and you trying to make all excuses in the world for the police officer. But if that was to happen to you, or if it happened to your son or your daughter,
Hmm.
you would be on
Hmm.
the you have the exact opposite opinion. See, that's
Right.
why I look at that. I apply that to everything. So I hear people talk a lot of times. I'm just like, you full of it, because
Right.
we know if that had happened to you, that exact same scenario, you would be on the other.
You'll
You'd
be
be on the
hot.
exact other side of the. Your opinion would be totally different. So if that's the case, you need to sit your ass down and shut up. That's it. Be quiet. Don't say nothing, because you trying to insult my intelligence. You exposing yourself.
Hmm. All the time. And these type of situations, man, is definitely condolences to the families. There's so many people that have gone through scenarios like this that have not gotten their due justice, or their message, or what has happened to them has come out. Some people have kept their things internal. Those people that have come to me about situations that have happened to them that they just wanted to, almost like a therapy session,
Mhm.
where it's just a conversation, because they were afraid of retaliation and actions coming their way if they were to come out and say anything. So
Yeah,
these scenarios, like Mika said, like you guys are saying, happen all too often. But a lot of times they go unpunished. They go untalked. People don't mention and talk about it,
yeah,
and they really don't know who to go to
no,
for any type of recourse or resolve. And the only reason why this right here is getting any traction, right? He would have been in just another death that happened probably in whatever they wrote up. But because someone got it on video,
right,
uh, and all of this have come out now it's taking a different turn than probably the usual. And you would probably, if you look at probably some of the other historical things that have happened, they've probably been surrounded by other deaths or other
yeah,
tragic things that have
right.
happened. If you probably look throughout their
Their
tenure.
whole career, yeah. You see
Yeah.
that a lot. You see that a lot. They go back and look, and they be like, well, what was the other dude? It was just he was fired from like five different police organizations in like 2 years or something like that. I forgot what he did. He did something not too long ago, and he was like he had went to the department to department to department, and then he finally just killed somebody or whatever. And then they were like, then they looked up, and then all these people were saying, I would have never hired this guy, and then, his whole record and blah blah blah, it just looked a hot mess. But he was able to move
Hmm.
on, move on, move on. Yeah,
Yep.
it's sad. And again, like I say, like you said, you don't have anybody to turn to, because you can go to the news, and the news won't touch it.
Yep.
You could go to the news and say, hey, these police officers are intimidating me. I got this, I got that, I got all this paperwork, blah, 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 and they will not touch it
Yep.
unless you got it on video. If you had it
Yep.
on video, then oh yeah, okay, we'll do it. But other than that, they'll pull up your record and
And do
see,
a
okay,
story on you.
what was your let's look at your arrest record. They see you did all this, blah 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 blah. Oh no, we not touching that.
Yep.
They won't even
Yep.
touch it.
They won't touch it at
Yeah, you
all.
gotta be some high profile before
Mm-hmm.
they even do it.
Either high profile or you got it on
Yeah.
video.
And when we know when that happens to you, you can feel so isolated. You can literally
Mm-hmm.
feel like you're in a third world country. You feel like you're not even in America when
Right.
something like that happens to you because you have no one, literally no one to go to. When you have the feeling that you cannot go to anyone and then it's actually the police are the ones that's after you, that's a cold feeling.
It's a cold feeling,
Right.
man.
It
It's a
is
cold
That's a
feeling.
cold feeling. You
real
don't know
for
what
real.
that you don't you cannot imagine what that feels like until it happens to you. Trust me.
Mm.
And most people, like you're saying, you can be in those scenarios, and you can see those scenarios until you've been in those scenarios. It's a lot tougher. It's a
Yeah,
lot tougher than people uh, really realize. And being in
right.
the middle of it, and it's a very lonely place
It's a
to be
cold,
in.
it's a cold
Very
feeling.
lonely
Yes.
place to be in, and it's
Yeah.
nothing like it.
Because you start
So,
thinking about stuff like what if my car gets stolen? If uh if I'm somewhere and somebody start a fight with anything could jump off, and you're like, I cannot call the cops.
mhm,
Like literally, like somebody could break into your car that night and bust your window, and you just be like, you don't eat because
I
you're
gotta
so
eat this one.
afraid. Right? You got to eat it. You literally feel like there's nothing you can do. That's a crazy feeling. You driving around literally in your own town in your own so-called America the free. You might as well be in
Mhm,
like Tijuana, and it feels lawless because I remember I used to go to Tijuana. We used to go down there and walk around, and I remember I used to keep my wallet in my front pocket, and I was always like, I don't want to bump into nobody because I feel like if I had to bust somebody in the head, they're gonna come snatch me up and take me to jail no matter what happened,
mhm,
right? So I'm just making sure I don't get into it with nobody. I ain't even
mhm.
trying to get drunk. I'm not trying to get nothing. I want to have all my wits when I was there. So I could never really just have fun.
Mm.
And just imagine that in your own
In
country.
your own
Yeah,
country
your own
Ain't
where you
town.
nobody.
reside every day.
Yeah. So this guy here, that's an amazing thing. But like I said, we'll never know what they were really thinking. And then you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna look at his record. Same thing. They're gonna look at his record and say, what was he in prison for? And what was he in jail for? And what did he do this and what? And let's say he was in there for domestic violence or anything like little tiny thing,
Hmm.
whatever it is, they're gonna bring it up to try to lessen the blow of what you just saw.
Yep. They'll try to diminish his character
Yeah.
every
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
And they'll
Well,
find something from third grade.
Not from the third grade.
They will.
they will, man.
That time you was in Mr. Baker class. I remember what you did, boy.
Yep. He took Tamika crayon.
I see you
Snatched
looking at
it.
this paper. You was trying to cheat. Yeah.
Yeah. You a thief. Now he done took the crayon. He labeled as a thief since third grade. Uh, he was looking at somebody's paper, the test that was going on. Now he's a cheater. Now he's a cheater and a thief. Then he
he
gonna put
capable.
all
He
these labels
capable.
on
He
it.
capable of anything. But
Man,
them same officers, you go back and look at their record. But it's okay. Whatever they did.
you ain't gonna bring none of that
Exactly.
up. That stuff sealed. You ain't trying to bring up none of that.
No.
Right.
They ain't gonna try to bring up none of that. But
Ooh,
we had
yeah.
another great conversation, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Appreciate y'all tuning in, tapping in with us once again. Much love, man. Go ahead and tell me how they can get a hold to you, Jen.
Persevering Jen. You can contact me on all platforms, IG, Facebook, as well as YouTube at Persevering Jen. Tap in with me.
And
Gee.
you can hit me up at Monty C. Wilson on Instagram and Facebook. And I just started uh, um, a AI record company called Soul Pro Records. Hit me up on Soul Pro
Soul
Records on
Pro
YouTube.
Records. Let's go, man.
Soul Pro Records. I got AI record label. Got a couple of hit songs out. Check me out.
Let's go, man.
Okay, put me in, coach.
Put
I'll
me
text
in,
y'all.
man. Hey,
I'm gonna text y'all a couple of my hits so y'all can listen to them.
yeah, shoot them to me, man. I'm gonna be coming out with a song too. It probably won't come out to the summertime. It's a
Okay.
workout thing. I already got the lyrics and stuff. I just found the beat that I'm use for it. But
Who
it's
gonna
gonna
you
be it's
gonna
gonna be more like a little fun thing.
you gonna be singing on it?
Hey, man, you listen. The talent is coming out,
Uh,
brother. Listen, it's coming.
it sounds
It's
like you might be
coming.
able to do something.
It's the
I'm
A man.
telling you. Jen heard a little bit early. Jen heard a little bit early.
I believe you. I believe you.
Man,
If you
I'm
don't
in.
if you're checking out, I'll put one of my AI artists on it. Okay.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I put
Yeah,
one of my
have
Y'all
him come
AI
spit
artists
something
on
need
it.
on it.
it's time to
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
all the talents that God gave y'all. Come on now.
Right.
Come
We
on,
ain't
let's hit it. It's going in. It's gonna be fun though,
out.
man. But yeah, shoot me that link, man. I want to check out some of the songs you put
Yeah, I made
together.
a Black History song too. I'm gonna let you check it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to hear it.
All right.
My
But
brother.
let's go. Black History Month all month long. Make sure y'all tap in all the great events that's going to be happening. Hopefully, you got something going down in your neck of the woods. We will be having a few great things that'll be happening here in Bakersfield and throughout California. But hopefully, in your areas, that you're doing something for Black History Month. If you got something going on at your schools, if you got something going on at your jobs, something to represent your culture and what you love, which is being black. So don't be ashamed of it. You got to say it loud that you're black
And
and
I'm
you're proud, man. You got to be loud and proud about who you are and what you represent. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to be going down that you may not like, but guess what? Be proud of who you are, baby. Be proud of your blackness and be proud of the skin that you're rocking because it is not something that is to be looked down upon. It's something to be embraced and loved and cherished. So love your black king, black queen. Y'all got it. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out.